Salutations, Kindred. It's been a while. Recently, the team at Bloodhunt invited me to play test their latest patch. I think as of the time you're seeing this, it's going to release tomorrow. The new Tremere patch, and it's really good. And this video was supposed to feature some extremely high quality footage of my time in the test, but of course, sod's law, on the day of recording, I had some encoding issues, and therefore I was left with footage that looked like it had been filmed on the very first flip phone ever invented. It's pretty bad. So we're gonna have to get creative here and use a bit of our imaginations to fill in the blanks, and I'll do the best with what I have. So this new update comes with a hell of a lot of fresh content. Let's start with the best bit of all, which you're all going to be waiting for, a brand new archetype from the Tremere clan, the Scholar. This absolute powerhouse is about to shake the meta of the game up in a significant way. Their traversal ability being Levitate, which just like it says embroidered on the tin, you can freaking fly like an absolute baller around the map and during combat. It comes with a kind of mana bar which refills over time and of course can be buffed to refill faster with resonance. But the amount that they give you to play with off rip is more than enough to seriously finesse your opponents in style. The best thing about it is how freeing it feels to just get around the map. No more climbing for you now, Timmy. It's all about flying. There are some properties about this ability to take into account though, so for starters, it's not an incredibly fast-moving flying ability, so using it carefully and tactfully is obviously very important. You can't jump from a great height and use it to break your fall, because as with most things in Bloodhunt, it all comes from your momentum, which is what makes jumping and immediately using it really cool. It gives you an insane amount of forward momentum and allows for quick repositions during gunfights. Using it in bursts felt most effective to get around, but sometimes it was nice to just be able to levitate the entire height of a building just from jumping off the street. This is the kind of ability that Bloodhunt really needed to shake things up. Next up is the Blood Lance, which sees your vampire charge up in kind of almost anime style, a magical blood magic lance, and throw it in any direction that you're aiming. This ability has a lot going on. First of all, it can be thrown through walls. Yes, that's right, through the freaking wall. It does a cool 50 damage on impact and heals you for 50 hit points when it lands too. And you can also toss it at your teammate, which quickly heals them for 50 hit points. You are stationary when charging and throwing it, so pick your moments, as you don't want to get your little gothic cheeks clapped before you've had a chance to toss it now, do you? One of the special things about the Blood Lance, and arguably the coolest thing about it, is that if you manage to land it on someone as the killing blow, instead of downing the opponent, they will explode into a giant spray of blood, instantly eliminating them. Not only is this extremely satisfying to witness, but strategically, to eliminate an opponent without them having a chance to potentially recover from a knocked state is going to be extremely divisive with the players, and I would imagine a really strong pick for competitive play too. The passive ability, Vital Knowledge, allows you to reveal an enemy's location for 2 seconds after dealing damage to them. So essentially you get Wallhack's light for a couple of seconds. It's pretty vital knowledge. More than enough time to clock them re-peeking a corner or even the direction that they may retreat to. This ability is also visible in team mode, so the entire squad gets the same intel. It's absolutely bonkers. This archetype has instantly taken the spot as the most fun vampire to play for me personally. I'm sorry, Brute, you served me well, but you just can't fly, so, you know, you're out. Next up is the new 100 tier Primus Battle Pass with new vanity items for people to grind for. There's once again a ton of cool stuff in this, and the fact that it's free again is a huge W for everyone. Extremely generous of you, Bloodhunt, extremely generous. Next on my notes is a feature which I've literally been asking for since the first ever Bloodhunt video I made over a year ago. And it hasn't just been half-assed with ugly looking assets either. A fully functioning target range has been added to Elysium. You take this elevator down from the main hall and you can pick up any weapon to try out on the targets in the many different locations of the room. This all looks and feels so cool, and such an amazing job has been done to keep this looking all on brand and for your whole team to all be in the same instance firing away while queuing for games, or just to see what weapons you want to practice. Another massive W. And speaking of weapons, there has been a new one added. The Double Tap. This chunky guy is basically a revolver with 2 barrels, which fire off both shots with a single click of the fire button. I didn't get an awful amount of time using it in actual combat, but it does feel really good to shoot, and it's just nice to have new guns. There are some changes to Team Deathmatch by way of 2 new maps too. I'm not a huge TD player, but for those who run it often should appreciate the mix-up. We've got the train station and Rodolphinum as the 2 new areas to murder each other in. Nice! So that's the meat of this update, and it sure feels like a pretty juicy upgrade to the game. I'd really gotten the flame back for the game again since the hunting rifle update, and this Tremere update just adds gasoline to that flame, and now I'm really hyped to get back into playing it. I was getting some pretty insane performance issues during the test, but I can't blame any of that on the game. I think I was just having a bad tech day on the day when you really don't want to have a bad tech day, you know? I did ask the others who were testing the game at the time, and they all said the game was running fine, so it was definitely just me. In summary, I think this update is awesome. It's hugely welcome. The new archetype will be pretty much the only thing you're going to see in solo games for a long while to come. It's hard to say exactly how overpowered it is with how little time we got to use it and fight against it, but I think maybe like once the update is live for a while and people have learned the abilities and maybe learn some good counters to it, it won't be too bad, but it probably will end up getting toned down a little bit. I really hope it doesn't get nerfed too hard though, because this is the most fun I've had in Bloodhunt in a long while. So I recommend you get your asses in gear and log on tomorrow to try it yourselves. I apologize yet again for the extremely terrible quality footage, but at least you get a glimpse of what's in store for you. If you enjoyed the video, please like it for me. If you didn't like it, dislike it, and subscribe if you're new. And until next time, I'll see ya when I'm looking at you. Thank you.